Hello, my name is Chloe Folan, and I just wanted to quickly jump online this evening just to extend a massive thank you for all of the support that I've received for the video I recently created called 5 Red Soul Stars and How Soul Star Chakras Transform into a 5 Red Soul Star. That video's only been live for a few days, but I've received amazing feedback and amazing support over the information that was shared in that video. So I just want to jump on quickly and extend a massive thank you to everybody who's emailed me about it, contacted me about it, supported the video by liking it, sharing it. So thank you very much. And also subscribing to my YouTube channel. I've had some new subscribers, so that's fantastic because I only have a small channel. So all support is greatly appreciated. So thank you. So I just wanted to touch base with some of the questions that have cropped up and some of the queries in relation to that video. So if you missed it, I'll put a link down the bottom of this video to the video I'm discussing. And I now want to move into where I've received some deeper queries and questions from that video. So because of feedback I've been receiving already, and actually I'll start with the Antakarana PDF. So this video is more directed at people who've been studying the Rainbow Bridge techniques with me and or have been studying the Antakarana PDF as well. So I'll just share my screen. If you log on to my website, www.chloefolan.com, and you click on the home button, and you click on building the Rainbow Bridge, and you scroll down to the very bottom of that page, you'll see the Antakarana. It's called Building the Rainbow Bridge, but the document's getting coined the Antakarana PDF. It's getting called the Antakarana PDF. So in the video that I'm discussing, I gave an in-depth talk over how the Soul Star Chakra, with a proper karmic clearing technique over time, through proper anchoring of the 5 main Antakarana threads, produces a beautiful 5-rayed soul star. So in the free download, in the free Antakarana PDF download, if you scroll down to page, I believe it's 44 and 45 in particular, yes, 44 and 45, I give some condensed information over how the 5-rayed soul star, the divine masculine star, the Antakarana threads, the spokes in the 5-rayed soul star, how those spokes, how those Antakarana threads in the 5-rayed soul star act like antennae for receiving divine transmissions from a large star in our heavens. A large star in our heavens, meaning between the Great Bear constellation, and I need to put in Capricorn there as well, between the Great Bear constellation, Polaris, Pleiades, Arcturus, and Sirius, between those constellations in our heavens, there is a huge star that this 5-rayed soul star corresponds to in the heavens and picks up transmissions. So the consciousness spoke, the top spoke, picks up divine transmissions from the Great Bear constellation via Capricorn. The green spoke, the service spoke, can pick up transmissions from Polaris. The love spoke in the 5-rayed soul star picks up transmissions from the Pleiades, and the wisdom spoke picks up transmissions from Arcturus, and the knowledge spoke picks up transmissions from Sirius. Now, like that, as I explained in the previous video, it isn't like you're receiving those transmissions all the time, only as needed. and the divine transmissions that you would be receiving from those heavenly bodies would be in relation to inspirations and ideas, higher inspirations and ideas that you can ground through your field of service. So this wouldn't be just for so-called spiritual people, engineers, maths teachers, people that would be, I'm trying to think of the right word, people who work in finance, you name any field of service, someone working with the rainbow bridge techniques, the soul star clearing techniques properly and with patience and for long enough, because it takes time to develop that 5-rayed soul star. Once that 5-rayed soul star has manifested, if it's in alignment with your ray makeup to still be an engineer, you'll be an engineer with that 5-rayed soul star, picking up transmissions from those heavenly bodies as needed, when an inspiration needs to come in, to continue to ground and assist your field of service evolving into the Aquarian age. So that's one of the questions I received. You don't receive the transmissions all the time, just as needed. And the transmissions would apply to the field of service you find yourself in. So that's what I'm trying to get clear here. It wouldn't be just for spiritual people working in the spiritual field, maths teachers, people that work in finance, people who are farmers, people who work in horticulture, things of that nature. You name any field of service. If the field of service you are in is aligned with your ray makeup, and if you're working with the rainbow bridge techniques properly and long enough for developing that 5-rayed soul star, if you are in your genuine field of service, you'll continue to ground transmissions for your field of service. And I also got asked a question over the corresponding rays that link with the spokes in that star to the corresponding star in the heavens. I was asked, are the colors that I list here in the PDF, is that the same for everybody? And yes. So in other words, no matter what ray makeup you are, if you develop that 5-rayed soul star, conscious awareness, a yellow, whitey, gold spoke, great bear constellation. Your service, Polaris, green thread. Pleiades, love, the indigo thread. Arcturus, wisdom, the blue thread, the blue spoke. And knowledge, the red-orange thread from Sirius. So yes, it doesn't matter what your ray makeup is, this is how the 5-rayed soul star would look in any initiate or initiate disciple that's formed that 5-rayed soul star. That's how it looks no matter what your own unique ray makeup is. So that was one of the other questions I received. And the other question I received were questions over the star in the heavens that I was discussing. So this is where I need to elaborate, and I already have. I was calling it the Aquarian star because the research I've done on it keeps mentioning the Aquarian star, but it's also known as the solar logos star, the star of the solar logos. So what I'm going to do is, with all of the questions that I've received thus far, I'm going to take the 5-rayed soul star diagram and extract some condensed information out of this PDF, put it into a new document release, type up what I was saying about how the 5-rayed soul star evolves, and also then ask my graphic designer. I've got a graphic designer I've been working with for a few years who does all of my lovely diagrams. So when it's not an auric plate, when I'm sharing an auric plate, it's me that's clairvoyantly, with my intact inner vision, created that auric plate. But when you see any other types of diagrams that are computer created, that's come from my graphic designer. So I'm going to ask my graphic designer to create a diagram of the star in the heavens that corresponds to the star I'm discussing. So to be clear, so this is for the astrologers. that were asking me about this. I'm going to call it the Solar Logos star, so I'm not creating any confusion. So the Solar Logos star in question is a 5-pointed star in the heavens, where it's between the Great Bear constellation, Arcturus, Pleiades, Sirius, and Polaris. Now, in my previous video, I didn't mention Capricorn, because anytime, I think I mentioned this already in the video, anytime I'm tuning into somebody who has formed that gorgeous 5-rayed soul star, and I'm tuning into the consciousness spoke of the star, I don't pick up on Capricorn. I pick up on the Great Bear constellation. But obviously what I'm picking up on from the Great Bear constellation in relation to conscious awareness is quite possibly filtered through Capricorn. So I will be including Capricorn in the diagram of that star. So, and like that, I would just like to offer some quotes as well, because I'll be putting supportive quotes in the sub-extract release, if you will, based on the support and questions and queries I've been getting. Because Ascended Master Dwell Cool talks about this star in the heavens and also this star that forms above the heads of initiate disciples. So in relation to supportive quotes over that 5-rayed soul star being a piece, one small part of the transfiguration initiation. Now, this article that I've taken a lot of support material from, although what I'm discussing is in the Bailey books and it's scattered throughout some of the Bailey books. The quote I'm about to read is from an article called The Next Step by Barbara V. Rebards, and I will put this in the extract as well, the sub-release extract, for people to read at their own leisure to help clear things up as well. So the quote on the 5-pointed star that forms above the head of initiate disciples, I quote, "The 5-pointed star is the symbol of the sons of wisdom and the star of initiation on the mental plane, the plane humanity is endeavoring to master. It reveals the presence of the planetary logos as a symbol of creation, a symbol for perfected man, and a purification energy on all planes." So that's why I keep saying that this star is a piece of, it's a part of the transfiguration initiation. So if you're reading someone's ascension initiation claims and you can't see any evidence of this star being discussed, it's because it's not happening, because the person is nowhere near the transfiguration initiation. So this is what I'm trying to tell people. When people don't double, triple check their claims, and when people aren't patient with their claims, and when people make wild, over-the-top assumptions and run with it as a truth, this is where people trip themselves up. So I'll say it again. If you're reading someone's ascension initiation claims or initiation claims that they've stuck out there, and you can't see any evidence of that star being discussed in proper detail, meaning they don't have to describe it as exactly a star. And like that, this isn't down to clairvoyance. It's not down to someone not being able to see it. If someone really was forming that star, they would be able to write about it in some way, shape, or form. They might not call it a star. They might not call it a 5-pointed star, but there would be evidence of that star forming within them from what they write in some capacity. So if there is no mention in any way, shape, or form of this star, they are nowhere near the transfiguration initiation, or if they had it. I'll read this very important quote again. "The 5-pointed star is the symbol of the sons of wisdom and the star of initiation on the mental plane, the plane humanity is endeavoring to master. It reveals the presence of the planetary logos, is a symbol of creation, a symbol for perfected man, and a purification energy on all planes." And I would now like to read a very important quote about the corresponding star in the heavens that the 5-pointed star corresponds to. So, excuse me, this should clear things up for people as to why I was calling it an Alclone star. And look, before I get into this quote, can I please highlight, I've explained this in a few of my videos. I was clinically diagnosed with dyslexia in primary school. Clinically diagnosed with dyslexia. So that is why I sometimes repeat myself in my videos. And that is why I sometimes have trouble with pronunciation. And that is why sometimes I might not get numbers correct, or you might find typos in some of the information I release. Can people please remember, when you're watching one of my videos, or you're reading an extract that I've released, and you're wondering why I've got trouble pronouncing things sometimes, or I have miscounted something, or there's a typo, I'll say this one more time loud and clear. I am clinically dyslexic. I have dyslexia. I have an invisible disability. Can people please take it easy on me, please? And take that into account when you're watching my videos and you're reading the extracts and decent work I'm trying to put out there. Can people please more focus on the information I'm trying to highlight, rather than getting hung up on where I might have miscounted something, or where I didn't pronounce something right, or where there's a typo? So back to the important quote about the star in the heavens that Ascended Master D.K has talked extensively about. So the Alclone, the star of the individual, governs humanity and is also said to be the star around which our universe revolves. When the work of all these triangles has been concluded, humanity, and in a mysterious sense our Earth, will be functioning in perfect rhythm and will respond to the energies pouring in from Alclone. As all of these energies come to focus in Saturn, we will see that the dweller is face to face with the spiritual triad, the cosmic angel of the presence. This confrontation is a signal that the time is now for implementation of the next step in the evolutionary plan. So in other words, this article talks extensively about this star in the heavens, gives a little bit of a mention to the 5-rayed soul star I'm talking about, a tiny reference, but mainly about the star in the heavens, and talks about how, and I quote again, some time ago, Master D.K gave disciples a project to build in mental substance a grid of lighted triangles covering the Earth. So in other words, this document talks about how it's an evolution of, now that the golden network of triangles has been implemented, and that golden network of triangles is constantly nurtured. It's constantly nurtured, that golden network of triangles. It's fantastic that so many people know about it and harmonize and support the golden network of triangles around the planet. It's about now building on that spiritual substance that's been anchored, where it's from triangle meditation to network 9 meditations to then meditating on that star in the heavens. That's the next step, is including the solar logos star in some capacity within triangle network meditations. Hence why I'm trying to get more information out there about this star. So, is there anything else I wanted to say on this? I'm just looking at my own notes on this fabulous article. No, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to mention. So please have patience with me. I'm going to create a sub-document over how the 5-rayed soul star transforms into that 5-rayed soul star. I'm going to put this article in that extract, as well as typed up condensed notes just on that star and how it forms. So once again, I would like to extend a massive thank you to all of the support I received for that video, and everyone contacting me wanting to know a little bit more about that star. So I'm happy to answer that call. It's fantastic to have another inspiration to work towards, so please bear with me. I'll have the sub-article released soon, and I'll be getting someone to try to edit it for me before I do. So I believe that's all I wanted to say. And look, it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that people just want to hear more about that star and would like to support the articles and extracts that I have about that star and its important development. Ascended Master D.K has spoken about those two stars extensively. More information needs to get out there about those two stars and the corresponding links between the two. So there was one more. There was another. I'll just stop my screen share for the moment, or maybe I'll keep it up. The other purpose of this video was to highlight. I'm just going to come back to my website, www.chloefolan.com. And if you click on the blog section of my website, I've just released a lot of extensive information about my upcoming online Zoom workshops for 2024. Because of the bookings that I take for people wishing to receive esoteric aura readings and rainbow bridge readings and Akashic record readings and tarot guidance readings, in between my bookings for offering readings and very in-depth, the detailed readings, I only have a certain amount of time I can dedicate to online workshops. And because a lot of my workshops have classes to them, I just want to highlight what workshops are available because they are booking up quick. I have a private email list where people are emailed on that list first to give first preference, and then I publicly release information. So if you do want to be added to my private email lists, please contact me through my website, www.chloefolan.com. I'll add you to the private email list if you would like first dibs on information and workshops that are being offered. So my Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshop, I only have 2 places left. My Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshops are commencing in March. They're being taught across 4 classes. All of the information is on the website. So if you have been waiting on my Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshop, meaning you're new to the Rainbow Bridge techniques and you would like some direct tutoring, an in-depth class on the Phase 1 techniques, please let me know soon, because I only have 2 places left. So my Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshop starting in March. My Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 workshops, I've had quite a few people waiting on Rainbow Bridge Phase 2. My Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 workshops are commencing in August, and they will be conducted via Zoom because my classes are always in international demand. So there will be 6 Zoom classes for my Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 workshops. So all of the details will be in the link provided below this video, and all of the information is on my website. So if you've been waiting on Rainbow Bridge Phase 2, please contact me soon. I only have about 3 places left on my Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 workshop classes, and you can repeat these classes if you wish. You can refresh the classes with me even if you've done the classes before. There's people that like to do that. And I also have my Monadic Thread. So Monadic Thread workshops are for people that have properly completed Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 and have done a substantial amount of Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 work. If you are one of those people, my Monadic Thread workshops, my Advanced Rainbow Bridge workshops are commencing in May, and they're going to be taught over 6 classes via Zoom, my Monadic Thread workshop classes. Once again, all of the details will be in the link provided below. So if you are someone who's finished Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 and you've done a substantial amount of Rainbow Bridge Phase 2, you might be at a development point where you can avail of the Monadic Thread techniques. So before you sign up, I will ask your permission to do a remote check on you to make sure you've got no external karmic imbalance. and that you're already building to your monadic chakra, there is an energetic prerequisite for this workshop. So please do contact me soon. I believe I've got about 6 places left at the moment for monadic thread. So do let me know if you're interested. And the final workshop offering, and this would be for advanced students, would be my Ray Path classes. So my Ray Path classes, this is a part of my Rainbow Bridge Readings course. So if you're someone who's been patiently waiting for me to offer my Rainbow Bridge Readings course again, meaning the course I teach that teaches people to develop inner vision capacities. So how to develop intact inner vision. So in other words, my Rainbow Bridge Readings course teaches you how to feel, see, know, and perceive, how to read someone's central channel, the chakras, the antakrana threads, the heart center petals, the Ray Path chakras, and much more. But each time I've facilitated that high caliber workshop, it's always evolved and evolved and evolved. So this year, I'm going to start with my Ray Path classes, because teaching Ray Paths used to be a part of the Rainbow Bridge Readings course, but the course has expanded so much I've had to adapt it. So the Rainbow Bridge Readings course will commence with my Ray Path classes. So my Ray Path classes are teaching people how to feel, see, sense, know, and read what is called the Ray Path chakra. And that is the chakra above your monadic chakra. And it contains all of the cosmic and logoic chakras within it. It's a vast, vast chakra. So there will be 11 classes. There are 8 Ray Path chakras to cover, but there will be 11 classes to allow for Q&A, some revision, maybe a little bit of extra practice. So this class aims to hone your ability to tap into, tune into, read, sense, and perceive the Ray Path chakra within another, but also within yourself. And I've been teaching people how to ground their Ray Path chakras through the Rainbow Bridge techniques for over 10 years. So there are going to be people attending this workshop who've already grounded their Ray Path chakra. So if you're one of those people and you've already grounded your Ray Path chakra, this will help you to tune back into the light body building work you've already done. Because when you've already grounded your Ray Path chakra, it's there in your grace bank account. When you've already integrated and synthesized certain phenomena within your auric field as you enforce building the light body, it remains there for you to draw on at any time. Isn't that gorgeous? And I like to remind people of this as well. It's not always about just having focus on where you're next going with holistically building your light body. It's also about reminding you of how to tap into the power, tap into the grace bank account of what you've already achieved within building your light body. So for those that have already grounded their Ray Path chakra, this will help you tune back into what you've already done and how to tap into the high frequency energies, the goodies, if you will, within your grounded Ray Path chakra, how to reaffirm what you've done, how to draw on the energetic power of what you've already done. So that class has already been in huge demand. I actually already have about 10 people that have signed up for this. So essentially speaking, it's fully booked. But if there are maybe 2 or 3 other people that missed the release over this being offered, please do contact me, because I'll be only facilitating this once. I'm making an exception and take a slightly larger group, but I am going to cap it at about 13, maybe at a push 16 people. So I'm going to try to keep it small. I like small classes. So these classes are commencing, apologies, in April, and they're going to be held every 2 weeks. So that's my other purpose of this video, was to just highlight the workshop offerings, because my workshop offerings are booking up and booking out. So please don't miss out. Please contact me soon. Contact details are below this video if you've got any questions or queries or want to sign up. And the final bit of information I wanted to mention, coming back to my blog, for the first 6 months of this year, rather than recommencing the monthly Antakarana group meditations, I'm actually going to switch to teaching deeper Buddhic column work. So I'll explain that again. Rather than once a month hosting my Antakarana monthly online group meditations once a month, my Antakarana group meditations once a month, instead, for the next 6 months, I'm going to give people mini Buddhic column classes. So if that's something you're interested in, you will have to sign up for all 6 classes. You can't just come in 1 month and be missing the next month and then come in again the following month, because each class builds on the next class. So you will have to sign up if this is something you're interested in, for these once a month classes that will build on teaching you how to very precisely and methodically create Buddhic columns, whether in person or at a distance, how to do deeper work with Buddhic columns for releasing old programming in locations, basic healing techniques for people as well, checking permissions for doing deeper clearing work with Buddhic columns, how to stay in your own psychic space. And this very exciting part, I'm currently doing a basic intermediate course with Gavin Bone in ruins. And while I would have already had some personal experience with ruins, I'm learning a lot from Gavin and the basic intermediate course that I'm doing. So this is where the Buddhic column work will be a little bit experimental towards the end of the classes with what Gavin has been teaching me. We're going to adapt that for how to combine working with powerful runic symbols for more deeply exploring how to combine ruins with Buddhic columns, and also for working for healing people as well, some runic healing in relation to people and Buddhic columns. So that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm definitely putting a prayer out there for people that are interested in this hierarchical experiment over doing some deeper work with adapting Buddhic columns. If that interests you, let me know. All the details are on my website. So that's what I'll be doing with people for the next 6 months in place of the Antakarana monthly meditations. So on that note, I believe that that's all I wanted to jump online to share and discuss. And look, I just want to highlight again, I'm really, really grateful to the people that are supporting the work that I'm doing my best to put out there in good faith. It means a lot to me. So if you are studying the Antakarana PDF, or if you're studying with me as a student with any of my courses, please do feel free to email me questions and queries or anything that catches your attention, because like I said, it helps me then put my energies into videos that do interest people, that people want to see, that people want to know about. And it also gives me a good prompting for what direction to keep going in with what will help the groups evolve that work with me. Whether you're a solo worker, whether you're doing the Rainbow Bridge techniques yourself at home and studying the Antakarana PDF yourself, and you jump on those videos just to get some extra insights for study. So whether you're a direct or indirect student, please keep the queries coming. And my goodness, if there's something that you've come across in my videos that's really helped you and that you've enjoyed, please let me know as well. It's really good to get the positive feedback, because sure, everyone needs positive feedback now and again, including myself. So sending a big thank you out there to everyone who's sharing the work, and sharing the videos, sharing the Antakrana PDF. Thank you very much. As always, 7 ray blessings to all.